Hey, how's it going everyone? So it has been a hot minute since we've talked about what could have happened with the sequel to Alien Covenant after that film left us on a pretty big cliffhanger. Over the past year and a half or so ever since Covenant was released and leading up to it in the press tour, Ridley Scott did tease a lot of aspects of what was going to happen in that next film, or series of films, as he had teased that he could have pumped out another 6 more because he didn't want to let the franchise go away from him yet again. Early on, we had heard a bit about the film being somewhat inspired by War of the Worlds, with 4 major players involved. The engineers would be returning in some capacity, but then later on, Ridley's tune changed to that the story would be focusing on David and AIs and, the world that the AI would create if he found himself the leader of a planet. There was also some cryptic stuff that he teased about what planet that they were going to, Origai 6 at the end of Covenant, which I think a lot of people assumed was going to be LV-426, bookending everything and wrapping it up nicely, tying into the original Alien film and explaining how the derelict got there. So Empire Magazine dropped a new special issue called Empire Classics Alien, which you guys can pick up right now if you're in the UK. If you live in the States like myself, it's a little bit harder to come by, but I did get an issue ordering it from the UK. But the issue itself actually is really cool. It's like 130 pages and it goes over every single Alien film that we've gotten, including the AVPs, Prometheus, and Covenant, obviously. But it also spends a little bit of time talking about what's next for the franchise, and it also revealed some new details concerning Alien Awakening or Covenant 2, whatever it was going to be called. The magazine talks about John Logan's script for the film, which is still on hiatus, and says, quote, "Logan's script would have seen the return of Prometheus's engineers, with that species' survivors coming after the genocidal David. Setting-wise, Scott said it was obvious we were going to go to the actual planet, but which we assume that he means LV-426. So this of course does confirm fan speculation in which we thought the engineers were going to be going after David after what he did to Planet 4 in Covenant, basically dumping an entire juggernaut's worth of black liquid accelerant on the helpless engineers on that planet. Honestly, even though I am kind of mixed about what Covenant did to the lore and everything, I think this next film could have been pretty cool because at least it would have given some sort of a finality to this whole Prometheus story. I think it would have wrapped everything up quite neatly, and it would have been actually pretty cool to see the engineers in somewhat of a military campaign against David's Xenomorph army, along with 2 other factions that people speculated were the Colonial Marines and Weyland-Yutani. So drop your thoughts down in the comments below. What do you guys think about this? Are you still bummed out that we haven't got the sequel to Covenant yet, that there's not really any movement on the project at this moment? I think the last time we talked about this, Catherine Waterston said that she hadn't heard anything about what was happening next in quite a while, so at this point everything seems to be that the project is radio silent. Ridley has clearly moved on to other things. I think he's directing a couple other films right now, and he has a bunch of different projects in development, so clearly Alien isn't on his radar at the moment, which is kind of a shame because, like I said, right around Covenant he was really gung-ho about making a ton of films, but Covenant kind of underperformed at the box office and had a mixed reception and reaction from fans, so that's why Fox didn't move forward or right away with it. There's also the fact that Disney is going to be owning the Alien franchise quite soon here, at the beginning of next year, when the deal with Fox finalizes and all those properties will transfer over. So it remains to be seen whether or not Disney will let Ridley Scott continue his Alien prequels or go in favor of Neil Blomkamp's revival of the Alien franchise or just do something completely different with it. We'd heard rumors about an Alien TV series, which could be kind of interesting too, but at this time the future of the franchise is unfortunately up in the air. Like I said, post all your thoughts down in the usual spot, and for more updates on everything Alien and Predator and pop culture, be sure to subscribe to 8chan Entertainment.